All right, what's up, everybody? Video Rot. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks. Todd, do you want to remind everybody what episode this is? AKA, do you want to remind me what episode this is? Because I don't know.
55. I want to say 55.
Well, let's be sure before we look like fools. And then while he's checking on that, I want to remind everybody, please check us out if you're not already on twitch.tv/Revival House. We're over there. We're on YouTube, Revival House. We're on Rumble, which you find us either by Revival House or Video Rod or something like that. I don't know. I'm an old geezer. But we're everywhere you want to be.
55.
Episode 55. We've been gone a couple of weeks. Really, I know I had missed a week because I was filming the film. We came back, did an episode, and then I had to go visit some family back home in Missouri. And yeah, so that's why we were spotty there for a few weeks. But hopefully, no more hiccups, and we're here to stay now, as Korn would say. Boom, boom, ba-da-da-da-da-da. All right.
How was it visiting your family up in Missouri?
It was very cool. I'm always extremely happy to come back, though.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, it was cool because I think this is like Eva's 4th time going out there or something, and part of my enjoyment stems with how she does out there, because it's really like fish out of water for her, right? Yeah, I can be bored.
Shock, kind of.
Well, no, I could be bored in them. It's just there's not a lot to do.
Yeah.
Compared to here. And I can be bored because I could just sit on the couch and listen to my fucking grandparents talk about food. Much my grandpa just sits in his recliner and watches Fox News, and I could just be bored sitting on a couch and just kind of be a commentator for that. And I understand that she probably doesn't want to do that. Hold on, let me turn on this brightness, dude. Damn, dude, it's fucking with me. Does that look a little better? Okay. No, but I worked it out, and my grandmother's older and she's got a great guest room, but there's like no TV. The internet was always kind of shitty, so we'd go out there and you'd be bored and you wouldn't have internet. And this time I got it worked out. I borrowed a TV from my brother, who let me load it up and put it in that room. I brought my Fire Stick. They got their internet worked out, so it's a lot better. So it felt a little bit more like home. So whenever she was sort of like needing a respite, she could go downstairs and just chill in bed, and we could watch our normal shows and stuff. And not to mention, she just knows my grandparents a lot better now, so she had more fun and was able to be a lot looser and stuff.
Now here's a question for you. So my grandparents had the plastic on their furniture. Do your grandparents have plastic on the couches and furniture?
No, but she does have a rewash, like a washable tablecloth that just kind of like she washes like every day. Like it's just built to like get stains all over, because I don't know. But there's no plastic and stuff like that on things like that.
What was the temperature like inside the house? Was it like 80 degrees?
Well, they have 3 thermostats. They have one on the second floor, one in the middle ground, and one in the basement. The basement is where guests stay.
Oh, perfect.
And it's a big finished basement, and they just can't go down there anymore because like stairs are not their mortal enemy. So pretty much, and when they have guests, they don't even set foot down there. They're respectful. They're like, hey, that is your like apartment. We're not even going to go down there. So I keep it pretty cold in the basement. But dude, when I go up hang out with them in the middle floor, I'm burning up. I'm not hot, but I'm stuffy. I'm like, dude, this is not for me. And it felt nicer outside because fall is starting. You guys had some fall weather in the Midwest last week.
Yeah,
dude, it felt better sitting on their patio than it did in their house for me. But I run super hot anyway. I'm just super warm bodied because everybody else was super cold. Eva was cold. My mom was freezing. My grandma's freezing. That's just a woman thing. They're like all bundled up like snowmen, and I'm like fucking like this. God,
yeah,
I'm just uncomfortable. But anyway, it's really cool in the basement. But in the room we stay in, super stuffy. It gets real stuffy. There's no windows. Oh. And the good part is it's like a fucking sarcophagus. It's a tomb. There's
no what time it is.
Nope. When you close that door, you don't see. There's windows in the basement, and there's like a door leading outside, an exit. Like it's really cool. It is like it's your own like apartment, but the windows are nowhere near the door of the bedroom. And so you close that door, and there's like a little mini hallway that leads into the door that also kind of blocks off the main room. And all of that just makes it like this. When you close that door, it is pitch black, dude. You can't see anything. And we slept till like fucking 11 every day just because
You didn't know
You
what
couldn't
time it
help it.
was. Yeah.
No. And I used to stay in that room all the time, like over the course of the last like 12, though they've been in that house 20 years, 18 years. But I'd always stay in that room and dude, I'd sleep till 4 p.m. and you don't know what time it is. And like, why come nobody woke me up? And I'll tell my grandmother that. She'd be like, well, I didn't want to wake you. You see, clearly your body needed it, honey. And I'm like, oh, but you come out like Robin Williams, what year is it? It's just
It's like,
it's
what's
really,
for breakfast? You mean dinner? Oh, okay.
but you get oh, it doesn't matter, dude. That kitchen's open 24/7, dude. My grandma's gonna be giving you leftover. She's gonna be making you breakfast while giving you leftover fucking. I've literally had like in Grandma's Boy, where she'll sit down and she'll always offer like, "Oh, what do you want?" And she'll give you whatever you want. You're like, "Oh, you want some tuna salad?" She'll give you some like leftover hot wings. She'll give you some fried chicken. She'll give you some like pizza, half-eaten pizza, dude. And you got this like everything. You got this whole like buffet in front of you, and she just stuffs your face, dude, because you're
Nice.
always wasting away. And I don't care. Yeah, it doesn't matter what you look like, dude. You're always fucking wasting away. She's like a stereotypical grandma for real through and through.
So did you go to any restaurants or anything when you're out
Yeah,
there? What,
because that was
what was the hot spot there?
well, first of all, let me tell you, that's the biggest, culture shock, between, like, someone like Eva, the first time we went out there, she noticed that, and she just learned that this is just the way it is, but and I didn't really notice this was a thing until she pointed it out to me, I'm like, "I guess that is true," but when you go to my grandparents' house, I don't know if it's just because 'cause they're older, I don't know if it's because 'cause we're Midwesterners, I don't know if it's because there's nothing to do in my that city in Missouri,
Mhm.
but all we do around the table constantly is talk about food.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, while you're eating food, we're
Yeah.
stuffed, we're talking about food. We're talking about this restaurant, like, "Oh, it's so good." And she pointed out to me, she's like, "All you guys do is talk about food and where you're gonna eat next as you're fucking stuffing your gullet." And it's like, it is. That is literally all they talk about.
That's the
And
Midwest. Yeah, same here, man.
dude, it's crazy, and I never noticed it until she sort of shined a light on it, and so now we just kinda laugh at each other, like, as an inside joke when we're at the table, and it's just like, yeah, and my grandparents could eat KFC 5 times a week. It's like they eat it all the fucking time, they never get tired of it, dude. That's just old people for you. Um, but yeah, we ate, we have to, like I said, that's what they do for fun, man, so I had to eat at this new Mexican spot, that, was supposedly making traditional Mexican food, kinda like you find out here,
It's like
kinda.
Romeo's. Yeah, it's the
It
American.
no, they we have plenty of that, but there was, like, a new place that was supposed to sell, like, real traditional like the birria tacos like you had,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Those?
yeah. Mhm.
And technically, they did have that stuff on the menu, wasn't quite as good. Um, of course, I had to hit up the Coyotes. Oh, I just doxed
Oh,
where I'm from. And, yeah, it was awesome. It's never bad. It's always on point. Those are the biggest, plumpest, juiciest wings that side of the Mississippi, I'll tell you what.
now did you go to
Uh,
Shoney's and get their breakfast buffet?
good luck finding a Shoney's, man.
Oh, they don't. I thought they still had them in Missouri.
They I don't know if there's one in Springfield. I just doxed myself again, but there is one in Branson, Missouri still. It's still
Mhm.
open, but why would I set foot in Branson if I don't have to? We did go to Busick State Forest and we went on a hike. And I tell you what, I today still we came home eaten alive by mosquitoes
Oh, yeah.
and what are they like the chiggers, those like
Yeah,
bugs that
yeah.
jump out of the grass, dude. And we don't have that out here.
Mhm.
We don't have that out here. You can go on a hike in the mountains and you're not going to be ate up. It's just, but yeah, dude, I'm not used to it, and she's really not used to it. And you don't really notice it the day of, but like the day we got back, like 2 days later, dude, everything started itching, and I got them all over my body. And yeah, I don't miss it. That's why I'm like always happy to come home, man. I'm not a fan of humidity, and I hate bugs.
Hope she checked you for ticks because I always get ticks here, man, all the time.
Well, I was paranoid of that, and I was looking. I mean, how hard is it to check yourself for ticks, you know?
I they come up everywhere on me, so
Yeah, but, like, you would know they're there. Wouldn't you
you
know they're
would.
there?
I usually find out, like, when I'm taking a shower or else I'm like they bec I think my old roommate had to pull a couple ticks off my ass once.
Gosh. Well, how did the ticks get on you if you're like I was trying
Were
to
you wearing
avoid
shorts or were you wearing pants?
I was wearing shorts. But, like, would they crawl up to my ball sack or something?
Oh,
Going
yeah,
through my
yeah. Mhm.
dang.
I've had that before.
I'm gonna check right now, bro. I'm gonna look down there. I mean, I showered a few times since then. My pants are down, everybody. I'm literally looking at my cock. But you guys will never know unless I tilt this down. No, dude, but I'm so paranoid. Like ticks are so scary because they give Lyme disease. Not
Yeah.
all of them. I mean, when I grew up as a kid, we had ticks and stuff because we used to legit climb trees. We were climbing
Yeah.
trees in Tennessee, and we'd have ticks. They'd burrow on our heads, and my dad would claw them off, and he'd burn them on the table, set them on fire, and have kind of fun with it. But yeah, I don't think I
See
have
a
anything on
silhouette.
me. Hey, later, dude. Um, Mopey Dick. Yeah, spend less time on the internet, man. Be well. But anyway, I you got me paranoid though because I think getting Lyme disease and
You'll be fine.
fibromyalgia.
You'll be
I
fine. I get
Well,
ticks all the time.
my entire time living in Missouri, I lived in Missouri from like '03 all the way to 14, and I never had a tick. Not once. But I didn't exactly go hiking through Busick State Forest either. But I did it the one time and I was being conscious. It's like the first half of the hike, I was able to avoid grass because that's really what it's about. Just avoid the trees, avoid
Yeah.
grass. But the last half, the trails got real narrow and there's just shit everywhere, and it was just kind of impossible. Like I should have brought my machete. But anyway, you got me paranoid. I'm gonna ask her to do a thorough deep cavity search.
There you go.
Just to make sure because I don't want that Lyme disease, dude. And I think there's a proper way to take ticks off. Like I think
Yeah.
because they burrow their head in is what they do, right?
You have to pull the head
And
off.
yeah, and if you like break them and the head stays in you, isn't that when they can like give you the Lyme disease? I don't know how it works, or if they can give it to you just by sucking the blood. I
Yeah,
don't know.
you gotta make sure the head comes out, and I think you have to pull it a certain way. I just look on the internet. I've done it numerous times, but some people
And
say
you
burn them off, but it's like I don't really want to try like burning them
burn
off.
your skin.
Yeah.
And you've never been scared you had Lyme disease and you ever wanted to get it checked?
I haven't shown symptoms of Lyme disease, so no, I haven't.
Why even open up the can of worms, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, now you got me all paranoid, dude. Now I'm like feeling ticks all over me. Son of a bitch. Let me see here. Why don't you talk while I look at my belly button for ticks? I'm trying to look for places I would know.
They always hide in like the places where you wouldn't think to look. Let me just tell you that.
Like separating my ass crack.
I'd probably have her do that too.
But I wash my ass crack. I wash my ass crack real good. I get my fingers in there. I stick my finger like a couple centimeters in my butthole and do a circle motion to really clean out that O-ring. It feels real good.
Well,
No, I'm
sometimes,
kidding.
well, sometimes you would think like it's a pimple or something like that, or
Well,
on your
yeah, I've
skin.
got
That's what it feels like on your skin,
when you can't see it and you're just feeling it from
Yeah, or
behind
a
or something,
scab or
right?
something. Yeah,
Oh shit. Hmm. Hmm.
you'll be fine, man. Don't worry about it.
Fucking shit. What happens if you don't get a tick off? Does the tick eventually die? Does it eventually like drop off? Does it just burrow its whole body into
Just
your
gets bigger
skin?
and bigger and bigger and bigger. It
Oh, because it
just
fills
sucking
with
your
more.
blood. It takes a long time to get Lyme disease. I mean, you're not gonna get Lyme disease overnight.
Well, then people that get Lyme disease is because they have ticks on them for months and they grow so fat.
I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how they get it,
This
but
episode's disturbing me.
I always had ticks growing up.
I know, but and they obviously don't all have Lyme disease because that would be an epidemic of you know. Anyway, you got me fucking freaked out after this is done because I got like bug bites all over my body and I can't see all of them. So now I think I'm gonna have to like go up to Eva and just be like bend over, like, hey, just really get in there,
Hey,
there and look.
get your mom to check for you instead.
No, come on, man, come on. But I was passing people hiking the same trails and they're in shorts and shit. I'm like, man, I mean, they're fearless.
Yeah, it's pretty common, man.
No, dude, I don't want ticks. Anyway, let's change the subject, but I
Yeah.
don't want to forget about it either. What did we talk about? I don't know if I talked about this with you on a podcast, but right before I went to Missouri, I did the whole Metallica thing. They were in town the 2 nights, no repeat weekend. I went night 1 and they canceled. They cut the set really short and nobody knew why. And then I listened to like 70,000 people boo all at the same time when the lights came up. It was fucking wild. I felt like I was at a, you know,
So
fucking football game.
so what happened with that? Did they end up rescheduling the next week and everything went fine,
Yeah.
or
So the
oh,
next day they
really?
announced the very next day, I was leaving. I was supposed to go Friday, Sunday, and leave for Missouri on Monday. Um, so went Saturday. They played an abbreviated set and just went off stage. And then, but I couldn't tell anything was wrong because to me they sounded great and he sounded great. And uh, the only thing is, like, second to last song or something like that, I noticed him stop singing a lot. Like, he was letting the crowd sing most of Fuel. I'm like, "Huh, that's
Hmm.
weird." So maybe that had something to do with it. He's like, "I don't feel fucking good at all." But, and they announced he had COVID. Sorry, the big C. I don't wanna get demonetized. And they immediately rescheduled for the following Saturday. I'm like, I was pissed, dude. I'm not gonna be in fucking Missouri.
Yeah.
This is fucking terrible. On Saturday night, I was at a dinner table in Nixa, Missouri, playing fucking dominoes, the worst game in the fucking world, with my grandfather. And I'm like, I love board games and I like games, but dominoes is not one. It's like the only game he'll take part in. Other than that, he just lets everybody else play games. He has
An
nothing to
old
do with it.
game, yeah.
Anyway, I'm just like, literally, while I was getting frustrated on not everybody knowing the rules and dealing with, and I'm thinking I'm literally missing Metallica right now. I'm fucking playing dominoes. Anyway, yeah, it sucked. Luckily, I was able to get a full refund for the two
Oh,
tickets on that day. Yeah, I got a full refund. I got that worked out. And I was able to weasel SeatGeek, who was that's the actual ticket vendor for our stadium here. You
yeah.
you have to go through them. I was able to weasel another $500 in credit from them.
Mm.
Yeah, you know me, I could be a Karen,
Mhm.
an Aaron. So so I mean, I would have rather have seen my band. That's what I wanted to do. But if I can't see my band, I got a full refund plus $500. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use all that money I got to try and catch him on leg two
Yeah.
somewhere. I might have to go somewhere though. I was actually gonna run it by you if you want to see him for one show in St. Louis with me in November. If you didn't, I'm just gonna go to some random city next year. I'm either gonna go to Seattle or Chicago. That's my only two options. And then if you didn't want to go with me, well then I'll just go see the whole weekend next year. It'll be next year because it's like they're playing St. Louis in November, and then they got a couple of shows, but they're nowhere near any of us. And then they pick back up in next summer. And so, I don't know.
Oh, so they're
But
so they're they're gonna do another tour next summer. The same
it's
cities,
another
or
leg, another leg, different cities. No, different cities.
so are they gonna go to, like, Vegas next year or something?
No, no, no. The tour's already mapped out. So like I said, I was actually gonna bring it up to you. They pick up. Phoenix was their last show for like 6 weeks. That's why I was like pissed. Like, you guys have to do it the next fucking week. God dang. Um, they're starting the second leg in St. Louis.
Mm.
And that's in November. So it's, not that far away. Um, and if that one's out of the picture, I'm looking at next year, which is in like August or September. And really I've got more than one option. I don't really want to go to Detroit. I'd rather go to either Seattle or Chicago. Those are the two cities I would be okay with spending a couple days in. Um, and there's like Canada and Mexico City and shit like that. I'm not doing that. But anyway, I was going to ask you if you'd be interested in catching one show in November, or dude, just fucking having a guys trip and going to Chicago or Seattle for a couple days next year.
I might be able to swing a Chicago maybe next year.
That'd be fucking fun. Because the way I feel like I lost out, but since I got so much credit, it'll pay for my ticket and it'll pay for it should be able to pay for my travel too. Like, I really shouldn't be out of pocket too much. So though I'm trying to spin into a positive, like, well, now I'll see Metallica more than I thought I was going to. But anyway, if you want to do it, dude, I mean, I'll go by myself regardless, but that'd be a fucking blast, dude. If you want to go to Chicago, we can go to Galloping Ghost. I'll finally go to Galloping Ghost Arcade. I've been to Chicago a few times. I love Chicago. And the only other option for me is Seattle, just because I've never been to Seattle. I mean, I'd like to see Seattle, but like,
Yeah.
Detroit, I really don't have any interest in Detroit. I don't want to go to Mexico City.
Chicago has some pretty cheap flights too. I don't wanna go back to St. Louis. I used to live in St. Louis, so
Yeah, well, we should talk about it, man. If you want to go, I think we should. And the good thing is like what I would do is, I mean, all the tickets are in the aftermarket now. They've been in the aftermarket, but I did it as an experiment because I'm not gonna fucking buy my ticket now because everybody wants stupid prices. Like it's like
Yeah.
1,000. No, it's dumb. As an experiment, when they rebooked that show that set for the next Saturday, I couldn't make. I looked at what the tickets were going for. And then I waited. Then I looked at what they were going for Saturday, the day of the show, and you could get them cheap because it's just people unloading. Like they couldn't get them. The people holding on to their resale tickets, man, they just get rid of them for face or even lower, dude. Like
what's
there was
what's face on those?
Well, I paid. You got to consider the fees are outrageous with the fees to the ticket vendors, but with the fees of the ticket vendor, 2 tickets to one show is $390 on the floor. Now the floor is great. The best seats in the house are the snake pit. Like those are fucking unreal. But the floor is pretty cool too. I think it'd be cool to have seats, but the seats that are like on the yard line that are kind of close to the stage, not the ones that are on like the broad side, because those are kind of close and you're cool too. Those are kind of similar prices as the floor. But I was watching people the day of the show that couldn't unload all their tickets, and they were selling floor tickets for like $100, which is under. Because that's what it is. Everybody just buys a shit ton.
Yeah.
And they fucking try to make a buck off of it. And they don't care because they're probably factoring averages. Like, well, I sold some to a sucker for 800 or 600 and it's like, I can afford to take a loss on these ones I can't sell. But leading up to it, they were coming down, like leading up to that week, they were like, okay, selling for triple, double. And then, all the way. So I'm not worried about it. I mean, I'm going to hold on to my money. The thing is I have all the faith in the world that like, if I go to Chicago without a ticket, I'm getting a ticket. Like they're available. Everybody's selling them.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about that. So I'll just kind of sit on everything for now. I mean, my credits are good for a year, which will be cool. But anyway, I think that'd be a lot of fun if you wanted to spend a couple of days in Chicago, go to Galloping Ghost, kill some time, play. I've always wanted to go. I've been to Chicago a few times. I've still never been to Galloping Ghost, and I've always regretted it. So that's probably because whoever I'm with, the last thing they'd want to fucking do is go to the world's biggest arcade, dude.
What month out of the year is that next year?
I want to say one of them is the very start of September and one of them's like towards the end of August, I think. Okay. But let me just double check. And let me tell you, dude, Pantera was fucking awesome. I was kind of concerned that like, I kind of wish I could see Pantera at a smaller place. Dude, they fucking rocked the stadium. And as long as you're like not in the fucking nosebleeds, that's when people talk about a stadium sounds like shit. It's when you're like fucking in the cheapest nosebleed rafters. But dude, as long as you're on the floor on the lower bowl, dude, it fucking sounded awesome, dude. And I love the way the stage is set up because it's like you're backstage. Like I was right on the rails and I was right by Rex, the whole time where he's getting his shit on, Phil's like just kind of like psyching himself up, telling people hi. Depending on if you get lucky, you could technically be on the spot where James Hetfield is sitting and smoking his cigars and I didn't get that spot. I wasn't lucky enough, but I got a spot near all the Pantera guys, which is fucking awesome. But it's really cool, man. And they sounded amazing. Let me see. And it kind of, even though I've heard Walk a million times, it kind of gets you hard, dude, hearing a whole stadium like saying respect Walk when you've never heard it, dude. It's pretty cool. So, okay, they'll be in Chicago the weekend of the 9th.
Okay.
And then they're in Minneapolis, then they're in Edmonton, Canada, then they're in Seattle at the end of August, early at the start of September. So, yeah, I mean, pretty much all the dates. I forgot about Minneapolis and shit like that. But and they're in Foxborough, Massachusetts. I guess they're going to quite a few more places. I just have an attraction to Chicago, I guess. But it's all August leading up to September 1st.
Okay.
So, yeah, man, let me know. That'd be fun. It'd be worth missing Metallica. I'd think it was a good trade-off.
Well, flights are pretty cheap to Chicago, so.
Yeah, I mean, that's where like if you were going to be down for the St. Louis thing, I just would have flown to you and we would have rode up to St. Louis, even though it's way easier for me just to fly directly into a city. But no, if you wanted to do Chicago, we just both fly into Chicago, call it a day, be fucking easy. But yeah, we'll talk about it, man. We got time to stew on that. But let's see. We got anybody in the chat really quick? Pestilence. Are you doing yeah, Kill 'Em All lyrics, dude? Oh yeah. I don't know. Do you want to talk about anything you've gotten? Have you gotten anything new?
I've gotten a few movies, probably 2 on sales, but nothing that I'll show today.
Yeah,
And I
I
got
haven't.
I got something coming next week that I'll show. It's kind of a grail, so I'll show it
Okay.
next
Yeah,
week.
yeah, because I feel like it's been a while since we've talked about pickups. The most recent thing is that Cliff Burton print that I showed
Yeah,
you
that's
that
sweet.
framed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlie Benanti of Anthrax. He's also an artist, and he runs his own store, and he sells originals, and he'll sell prints of those originals. And that's a painting he did of Cliff, dude. And yeah, I got it and I put it in a frame, dude. It's fucking badass. I think it's gorgeous. And I convinced the lady to even let me put it downstairs, dude. Because it actually looks like a nice work of art, dude. I was like, I have to like convince her, like, come on, man, it's art. Why does it have to be regulated to a nerd den? This is beautiful. But yeah, that I got my Child's Play pre-orders in, all those Shout Factory from Bride of Chucky onward. I got those 4Ks. I mean, I pre-ordered those a long time ago though. Watched the Bride of Chucky 4K, looks great. I love Bride of Chucky. It's so fucking funny. I find it hilarious. The only thing I got, I guess, in the recent weeks is there was some online record store that was, I don't know if they were having like a liquidation or if they were just having a really good sale. I don't know what the circumstance was, but they had some really dirt cheap stuff. And anyway, they gave me some extra shit. Like there was extra stuff in my order I didn't even order, and I confirmed it. It was not even, it's not on my slip that was in there. Like they just accidentally, like for example, I ordered a King Diamond record.
Yeah.
And they threw in another King Diamond record that I already own. And they did that with 2 bands. So it's like I keep kind of acquiring this like stack of doubles. So I've got my collection that I'm just kind of curating, and eventually I'll do something with. Or if my brothers liked that shit, my mom needs to like King Diamond fast so I can give her some of these records for Christmas. I've got like duplicate. I've always said, like, if I ever go back to Omaha or whatever, I'd probably bring Pat. Like I've got like some duplicate Death records. Because sometimes you just fucking luck out and you get extra shit. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
That I would just, give to somebody. But yeah, that's really it. I don't think there's really anything news wise either, because unless you want to talk briefly about the new Eli Roth movie Thanksgiving that's finally coming out. I know you were kind of harping about it in our groups, basically thinking he abandoned the 70s style, his homage style. I don't see why that's an issue. I think that's a crutch personally. I always thought that hindered Eli Roth.
I don't think so, because I mean, he already tried this with what's the cannibal movie, the Cannibal Holocaust ripoff that was just
Green Inferno
shit, man. So I don't know. I was actually going to show the trailer if you wanted to, or was that demonetize us? We do that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't care. If you want to watch it, we can watch it real quick.
It was either that or the Pet Cemetery Bloodlines one. Have you watched that one yet?
I've seen articles, maybe snippets, but I haven't really watched a full-blown trailer of it. I mean, I don't really have a lot of interest. But I got to say really quick with the whole thing about the Eli Roth, I think that trying to be retro, I think it's a hindrance, even for Ty West. Like I think in a perfect world, you'll be trying to define your era. I get it. Like modern movies suck, but I think you should be striving to make it not suck and to stand out in, be a rainbow in the dark, because like you're just never going to capture. It's like they do with music too. Like there was this whole wave for a while there of these 70s, these bands trying to sound like 70s Black Sabbath. Like just they were trying to sound, Uncle Acid.
Oh, they're great. I like some of those bands. I enjoy
no.
those.
They're good. Or Witchcraft. No, they sound cool. They are cool.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's a slight hindrance where it's like, it's cool, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like I wish somebody would define the fucking depressing decades that we're in now, as much as I like the music. And those albums really fool you. Like some of them, if you didn't know any better, you think we're like some 70s band you missed.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, I mean, this is just a slasher movie. It's like, give us a throwback slasher that we can actually jump on. I mean, we've had all the screams, we've had all the modern day slashers, which are fucking terrible. And give us something retro, man. That's why I was kind of disappointed in it. Here, let me pull it up real quick.
But I think you can do that while still kind of being modern. So I don't have this is what this feels like to me. This feels like a cheesy fucking 80s slasher concept with a modern look. I don't see anything wrong with it. Okay, let me add it. Let's watch it all together.
Here, let me stop sharing. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta
Oh,
make
okay.
sure the audio's on there. Hold on.
Excellence.
All right. Here we go. Yep.
Damn.
Okay.
Okay, now we're gonna you want me to share it?
Yep. Go ahead and share it.
All right. Let's check it out. Thanksgiving. Minute long, minute 7. All right, let's go ahead and play it.
This is the teaser.
Thanksgiving is a time for appreciation. It's a time to remember our many blessings, to celebrate with the ones that we love the most, and it's time for all.
I mean, so far it looks fine to me.
Let's see.
And that's the guy from one of the Hostel movies, right?
Yeah, that's he's from one of the Hostel. I don't know. It just looks like generic and modern.
But
Shitty.
but if he from what I understand, if he did it the way you thought he should have did it, it would have been generic and also
I
looking
don't
like
think
the
so.
70s.
Well, I mean, people aren't doing that anymore.
Ty West literally had 2 back-to-back movies.
Yeah, back what 13 years ago.
No, what are you talking about? You don't think his 2 most recent movies kind of had that vibe?
It had the vibe, but the over the top. I don't know. There's something about that trailer with how just dumb they had Michael Bean as the actual sheriff in it, which I was hoping he was going to be in it.
Oh, what was that called? Shot? What was you talking about? What was that?
The Thanksgiving trailer, the original Thanksgiving trailer.
Oh, okay, yeah, from the QT thing, the whole
Grindhouse thing. Yeah.
Grindhouse, yeah. Yeah, I forget about that. Jeez, it's been that long he's been trying to do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but this is what it is. I mean, the original trailer is just phenomenal. I mean, I thought that they were going to go a little bit more down that road from 70s slasher movie because I mean, if you made something like that, I think it would do really well actually.
I don't. It
You
would do
don't?
well for you. No, I don't. I really don't. I don't think
Well,
it appeals
that's
to
why
the
I think X did really well. X was huge, man.
I don't I don't know. I don't think that is the mass audience. That's not the I don't think that's gonna be a factor. It's a good time for horror regardless. So I think it's gonna do however it's gonna do, regardless how it looks.
This is going to be
Terrif
like Knock Knock. This is going to be in and out of theaters within a week. Nobody's going to see it. This is going to be like
maybe.
Green Inferno. I mean, Green Inferno was shit.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I don't know. I just don't have a problem with it. I would much rather people live in the times and just try and define their time. I mean, you need someone to define their decade. It would be fucked up if our great horror director of the 2010s and 2020s was Ty West, who did nothing but emulate the 70s. To me, that's a little depressing. It doesn't take anything away from the movies.
But
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
but you already have those directors. I mean, you already have like the
I know,
Midsummers and all those. I mean, you have those.
I
But
know, and I don't.
Eli Roth is known for his love of retro 70s, 80s movies. You know that sort of thing.
He's
So he
trying to be he's a horror Tarantino where he's just trying to make homage films.
well, and he hasn't made a
Um,
good film since what Cabin Fever or I actually like Hostel, so the first one. But
yeah. I don't know. Hey, Sean Boyle, he says, you fellas ever think you'd check out a con or come out to LA for an event? I know Mad Monster Party happens in Phoenix in the spring. Yeah, that's Todd's come down for the last couple of Mad Monsters, which, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm always down to take a trip. I'm not far from LA. I mean,
I
maybe
would
we
love to
could.
go to LA again, man.
I'm assuming you're in the industry and that's where you're from. So yeah, man, LA's a fun time. It's nice to visit. It's even better to leave sometimes. But I would 100% go up there for an event. Why not? Yeah, keep us posted. What cons you guys got out there that you would recommend?
Well, they have that Halloween con that, I mean, that's been sold out, I'm sure, but that's like what, 50 years? And they're like bringing everybody back, which would be cool. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the really good con is there besides Comic-Con, but I mean,
Which
like
that's a
horror
different
con. Yeah.
that's in San Diego, and that's just a different beast. I mean, Comic-Con's all promotional of new shit. But yeah, I mean, I'd be down. But let's see. What else? I don't really have any other news, do you?
No, not really, man.
Okay, so speaking of stuff that we picked up, my next pickup is coming tomorrow. It's kind of the only thing I have on my mind right now I want to talk about, and that's Mortal Kombat 1. I'm so amped for this game. Even though the marketing for it has been whack as shit, it's been so weird. Like they announced it just a couple of short months ago, and then compared to the last couple of games, there's been no like combat casts, and they just kind of rushed out combat. Like it's coming out tomorrow, and they just today put out like an official display of like the invasions mode, and it's really weird. But I mean, apparently they don't really need it because people are hyped for it and excited for it. But have you watched any of the trailers or any of the reveals the last few weeks?
No, not the recent ones. No, I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw the Jean-Claude Van Damme one, of course, but other
yeah.
than that, I haven't.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
I can't wait. Why you would want to play as anybody except for Johnny, dude?
yeah.
I don't know. Or sorry, as Van Damme Johnny. No, but then of course all the rosters out there, and it looks so good. I love. I'm gonna lose myself into it. I like games like that. I like all the special modes, and I like the RPG elements of like uh bulking up my character, playing through stuff to get like stats for Sub-Zero, getting like custom shit for Sub-Zero or whoever I want to be. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
kind of depressed. I'm kind of sad there's no Jax in the main roster.
Yeah.
No Sonya in the main roster because I actually am a Sonya fan. I like Sonya better than Katana Molina, man.
I don't.
Personally,
I don't.
no, I do. I think Sonya's always really good. But Jax is my guy. But the last character they announced was Reiko, and Reiko is a grappler, so it sounds like he's going to replace Jax for me as far as like my main, because I like those rush down characters, man.
Yeah.
The wrestling moves and shit like that. Shang Tsung, dude, there's so many the things you're going to be able to do in this game because you have the cameos, and there's going to be so much combination to what you can do. Like if you're going to main with this character on who you bundle them with as far as your cameos, because each cameo is going to be specialized in either, defense, on offense, combo extensions, aerial stuff. Like the combinations are going to be endless on what you can do. And of course they assist you in fatalities and in fatal blows and stuff like that. I love it. Anybody that doesn't like the idea of the cameos, I think it's weird. Like, there's people that are like, they still haven't told us we have an option to turn them off or not. Who cares? They're fucking cool. I think they're really cool, man. I think you'll get used to the chaos of it. But there's just so much you can do in this. It almost seems overwhelming. Like, God, it's gonna be hard to master some of these characters. And then whenever you play somebody online that has mastered one of these characters, they're just gonna eat you for fucking breakfast. Like Shang Tsung, dude, they revealed his gameplay just today. Finally, they've never shown
Mm.
Shang Tsung, and he's like a force, dude. I love what they've done with him in this new timeline. In this new timeline, he's like he grew up in the backwater sticks, down on his luck, and he's a snake oil salesman. He doesn't have any magical powers. He's just a cheat, and a charlatan, right? Selling fake potions. He's more like an alchemist, but like a phony alchemist. And over the course of the story, he gets introduced to a person that comes to him and tells him what he's capable of, what he has been capable of, and offers him these powers to be so I really like what they've done with him. Like, he's still Shang Tsung. He's still a fucking slimy snake, and I love it. and he's got like these claws, dude, that he has these like syringes because in the storyline he's poisoning people with that disease, and he's just got insane move sets. And then of course you can do all the classic shit like the skull fireballs, the triple fireballs. There's aerials in this game, so he can do all that shit in the air and air combos. He's got like these claw slash moves, and he can also he can obviously shapeshift into who you're fighting, but he can also turn old with like just a click of a trigger. So you can turn to old Shang Tsung and young Shang Tsung really fast. And when you turn to old Shang Tsung, the move sets change, the combo strings change. Like the moves will be the same, is what they said. Like, you know, to do his triple fireball when he's young, they're gonna go forward and in the air. It's the same command, like whether that's down, forward, plus X, or whatever the hell it is. Is like, but when you turn old, which is designed to be really fast, they showed the gameplay. You can turn old to young in the middle of a combo and mix them. It's super slick. And so if you're old, do the same fireball command, but now he'll do them from the ground that pop you up and shit like that. It's really crazy. So it's like you see that what all can be done with someone like Shang Tsung. Plus you mix them with your cameo, who is a combo string extender. It's fucking insane. I'm really pumped for it.
So tell me this. It looks like what there's two different editions coming out. What's the premium edition and what's the regular edition? What's the difference?
So, well, there's 3 editions. There's a standard. I think that the premium is the one I got, the one that's like $100, and then there's like the ultimate that is fuck that. That's like comes with the statues and all that bullshit. Who needs that? And it comes with the steel book. If you pre-order from Best Buy, you get a steel book. It's not the one that comes with the ultimate edition, which is even cooler, but at least I'm getting a steel book. And you know, Best Buy, they always sell those a la carte later, you know. So, but it's $30 extra for the premium because new games cost $70 now. That's the world we live in. And you get Shang Tsung right out of the gate. You get him included. You get the Jean-Claude Van Damme skin. I'm sure all this shit will be for sale a la carte. If not now, later. But you get Jean-Claude, you get Shang Tsung, and you get the first combat pack. It's not going to be out yet, but when that comes out, you'll get the first wave of combat pack characters like they've done the last few games. And then I think you get 5 or 6 exclusive cameo characters. So you know, if this is all shit you're gonna want anyway, the value's there because you're only paying an extra $30 because they're gonna nickel and dime everybody for the shit anyway, unless you want to wait a few years down the road where you can just get like an ultimate edition. But I'm not about that life, dude. I gotta play it. I'm so stoked. But no, it looks beautiful, and the stages are amongst the best that have ever been in the series. And I love, first of all, there's a lot of stages in this game. A game like 10, I remember, felt like it didn't have many at all. It was kind of, I love the stages in X, but it just felt like you were shortchanged a little bit. But you have a lot of stages, and then you have variants to every single stage. I remember in X, they played with that a little bit. There was a few stages that had corrupted versions where they were all like red and bloody. This one, every stage has a variant, and it's always a little different. Like maybe it's as simple as night and day. There's some that are like Shang Tsung's lab. It'll be like with experiments or no experiments, like, you know, change what's going on in the background. Like there's overcast, there's the living forest between day and night is literally like night and day. It's
sweet.
Awesome. Yeah. So I feel like I just feel like there's gonna be so much to dig into with this, and I'm really excited about it. What's up, Will? Sonya Blade, I would eat her ass, Zach said. Yep. The only cameo that matters is the toasty guy. Bring back Mortal Kombat. I get the feeling we won't be hearing from Aaron in the next month or so because MK1. No, not true. My lady just won't be hearing from me in the nights because I'm gonna I told her, I was like, dude, tomorrow night. Oh, also, if you pre-order it, you get early access tomorrow. Otherwise, everybody gets it next week. But
so do you pre-order the digital, or where do you pre-order this from?
Either or. If you pre-order it physical or digital, pre-order. So basically, it's like 2 release dates. So I pre-ordered it from both Amazon and Best Buy just in case one of them decided to not come till Friday, and I'm just going to return the other one. And it looks like Amazon's coming tomorrow and Best Buy's coming Friday. So, you know, I knew that was going to happen. But so there's 2 release dates. So, but digital obviously always have the upper hand there. They'll be able to, like Central Time, they'll be able to download it noon tomorrow, and you can pre-install it. Like you can already, if you pre-ordered it last week, you could have pre-installed, which I'm jealous because there's always a chance that You know, my Amazon packages usually come around noon, so I should be all right because I got to work and everything. But every now and a blue moon, man, I get those like, you'll get it by 10 p.m. and they actually arrive right at 10 p.m. And if I get that bitch at 10 p.m. and I got to like install the bit, I'm not playing it tomorrow night, which is a shame because I'm going to cry, dude. And then I got stuff to do right after work tomorrow, so I wouldn't be play till late tomorrow. But hopefully I get it in time and I can have all night with it. But I told her, I was like, hey, you're not going to see me for a while.
What are the reviews like on this? I mean,
I don't think there's been any. Will might know. Is the embargo and all that shit lifted? I mean, I know people have been getting copies, but have reviews gone out? I'm not sure. I don't know. They've had like early access and let people like YouTubers and all kinds of people like go to NetherRealm Studios or go to like the big cons and shit and play it and get hands on with it. And from what they've been allowed access to, it's gotten wonderful reviews. But I actually kind of like how the marketing's been real fucked up with this game because now it's like a lot of it's a mystery. Because I have so many questions. Like I know for a fact customization is back. It has to, yeah. Like there's been little things that have been spotted that allude to it's back, but they've never brought it up. They've never brought up customization. And back when you had MK11, they had like entire showcases on the customization and what you could do to everybody. You know, like for all we know, Create a Fighter's back. They didn't fucking tell us, but we don't know. So I kind of like how there's a big question. And there's everything leaked a long time ago. And there's still one roster character and one cameo that's blank. So the fact that we don't know what those are and everybody's been waiting for that, there's a day one patch. So a lot of people suspect that they're going to patch those in day one and you can't leak it. Maybe it's like a big thing in the story that would be a spoiler. So they were saving it for a day one patch so it didn't get spoiled on who these characters are. Cause you know, there's always like a character or whatever you unlock in the story or two, or it's nothing, or it's just like a blank slate that extends out like an MK9 to all your DLC people. We don't know. So I kind of like these mysteries of not knowing. So let's see. Sean, 3-day affair. That's a combination of FX trade show, actor meet and greets, tons of vendors, etc. Sounds like he 3-day affair. Is that the name of the con? I was looking to see if there's another message there that maybe you said the name of the con. But yeah, I'm stoked, man. Like, what's your plans on getting it or buying it? They fucking announced yesterday or today that there is no crossplay at launch, which is fucky. See, that's the kind of shit they were like withholding, and it was kind of fucked up. And then,
I'd get it on PlayStation 5. I mean, I'm not.
I'm a PlayStation guy too, but we're in an era where it's like, come on, man, you gotta have crossplay and all that stuff. It's just the times, but it doesn't bother me none. And I'm not a big online guy anyway, so it is what it is. But I'll play with you guys. I mean, my brothers play on PlayStation 5. Mac's a PC guy. Mac's a big Mortal Kombat guy. I'm not going to be able to play or do any rounds of Mac until it's crossplay. So hopefully they get on that shit. MK11 never got out of crossplay beta. So it was like an undelivered promise. That's why everybody's like, oh, okay, here we go again. But at the end of the day, I'm just looking forward to doing the story stuff. I'm looking forward to doing I love how in the what's it called? The invasions mode, how they're going to update that every season. They've eventually sort of mixed they've mixed the crypt mode with the towers, the living towers, you know, that were online. They kind of just mixed them. So it's like you're in these different hub worlds, which are represented by each stage. And then you kind of have the stuff you got to do like within those worlds where, you know, remember like you'd have to do battles and, oh, this guy's got these projectiles coming out, or you got half health, and they're kind of mixing it all together. And you know, I'm sure it'll be fun. I think a lot of people were hoping for a full-blown like conquest mode like they had in the PlayStation 2 era.
Oh, like, yeah.
We're not quite getting that. On paper, it kind of looks not as cool as the crypt in MK11, because I felt like the crypt was going to walk for this next game so it could run, and we were going to get like a full-blown, because the crypt almost felt like a conquest mode.
That was fun.
But now it's kind of gone, like, it looks kind of like that, but it's like Super Smash Brothers on the Switch. Where that was like, it's almost like a board game. I don't know. It might be a day. I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, I just can't wait.
I might pick it up on Friday. It's payday Friday, so I might get it then.
I wonder how that works. I wonder if you'll be able to get it after the date. I don't see why they wouldn't. I think you have to pre-order it, though. I don't know if maybe they'll allow anybody that pre-orders it before the official date to just get it immediately. I don't, you know, otherwise it's just available.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
yeah, okay. Well, I'll just pre-order it then.
So I think if you want to get it, you would have to pre-order it tonight to just ensure. Otherwise, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like if anybody could get it in the next couple of days, then it's just available open. That's what it sounds like to me. I think you have to pre-order it. So
Gotcha.
if you want it and you want to play it starting tomorrow or whatever, I would just pre-order it tonight. That's what I would do. Let's see. And you could do it physical. I'm pretty sure because they haven't released yet. I mean, nothing's officially shipped. You could probably get physical on Amazon or just see it digital. Part of me kind of wants to. Part of me
I'll
wishes
just
I
do
could just.
digital.
Yeah. Part of me is like, God dang. In this instance, I kind of wish I went digital. I really want a physical because it's like, God, everybody's going to get the upper hand and be able to download that shit tomorrow early in the day and play it. Sean Boyle, the con's called Monster Palooza. Yeah. They also throw a Son of Monster Palooza scaled down version in the next week or so. You know what? I wish Kirk Hammett would bring back his con, dude. I would go to Kirk Hammett's festival, dude. He was bringing out a lot. Huh? What's that?
Where was that, in San Francisco?
I think it was in different locations for the first couple of years. I want to. The first one might have been in Texas. I'm not sure. But then the last one time he did it, it was in L.A. or maybe it was San Francisco, but it might have been L.A. But it's kind of cool, man, because he gets a lot of big people out there and some cool bands to play, and you know he gets like Lon Chaney Jr. and shit like that, and or like whoever's alive, whatever lineage those kids are still. It's really cool. Gamer guy, I'd get MK1, but I'd never been a huge fan of fighting games. Well, then don't get it. I'm really not a huge fan of fighting games anymore, except for Mortal Kombat. Like I try and go back and play Street Fighter and Tekken, and I used to love that stuff. And it just Soul Calibur, I just don't really get a lot out of it anymore. But Mortal Kombat's still a blast for me. So you know, gonna ride that wave. Let's see. Anyway, what else you got?
You
know what? You know what's funny is I was supposed to go into our first segment before we talked about the Mortal Kombat stuff. I guess I should go in the segments, dude. Isn't it's funny I'm forgetting that.
Oh, okay.
Let me do a little name that Kino for Todd. It's been a few weeks, so we're rusty. I even forgot about it, but I'm ready. I'm pulling out all the fucking stops. I actually don't think I'm going too hard. I feel like we're rusty and it's been a few weeks, so I don't feel like I'm being cruel on this. So with any of it. So but let's just let's see what we do here.
I'm gonna turn the chat off. Hold on. All right.
Yeah. Todd can't cheat. You guys can guess and I'll see it, but Todd's not gonna. He's gonna have honor here. All right, Todd, round one, and the way I did it is I think I separate everything into folders like each round, but so it might take me a second to ship between each round. But go ahead and Todd, let's name that Kino.
Night of the Demons.
No, feel free to guess, guys. He can't see. I'm interested if you guys will know.
Nope. God, I know this.
I know you know it.
Halloween 4.
Nope.
This is a good one because I know this part of the movie. Trick or Treat?
No. I'm really hoping. I can't remember. I think when I had to scroll through these, didn't it like show the pictures in the bottom?
I didn't see it. No.
I'm real scared because I don't want you to. But go ahead. You can have a few more guesses.
Is it a horror film?
It's too early to be giving hints. It's the first slide.
Okay.
We only do that in the second slide.
It's not Creep Show. Creep Show 2?
No. Any guesses in the chat? Come on, guys. Nope.
Like
I said, there's no shame in going to the second slide if you have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna need the second slide.
All right, let's go to second slide. Here's hoping it doesn't. Todd, do me a favor and close your eyes. Maybe it won't show it, and I'll tell you. I'll confirm. Put your hand over your eyes. Okay, don't look because it is showing. Son of a bitch. Okay, you can open. Name that Kino, Todd. Getting a little hot on the collar, though. I tell you what, my pants are still down. Does that offend you?
Oh God, this is Evil Tunes. I knew from the first slide it's Evil Tunes.
Hell yeah! See, I decided to keep it pretty easy.
Yeah.
Right here was the giveaway. Nice tits.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to watch you. I've been wanting to watch Evil Tunes with the lady, dude. I want to introduce it to her.
Did you get the Blu-ray?
Yeah, I've had
Okay.
that for years.
Okay, me too.
Yeah. All right, so let me go and pull out the next one. Yeah, I kept it pretty simple. Yeah, I want to watch Evil Tunes with the lady and see how she responds to it. I know she doesn't like the majority of my movies at this point. But
don't tell her what it's about. Just
no, like, yeah, exactly. I just want to watch to her and see what she says. Nice tits. I love it when he sees the tits where she's the one dressing his eyes.
Yeah.
I used to think that movie was so much cooler, like the way it was.
Oh
than
yeah.
it really is. Now it's like you see it for what it is, how cheap it is, and how much the animation mixed in with real life is nowhere near as good as like Roger Rabbit or whatever.
It looked good for the time.
No, as a kid, it's so funny how you really can't tell a difference in quality with that stuff. You know, I was just looking to get rock hard, dude, and it fucking worked.
Yeah, it was on Cinemax all the time. That's why I loved it so much.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and pull up let me pull up number 2. Yeah, I might just have to till we get this figured out, I might just have to fucking do the whole thing where you close your eyes while I switch.
Okay.
We'll have to be ghetto like that. All right. Todd, are you ready for some Name That Kino?
Yes.
All right. Round 2. Name that filthy kino. Name that filthy kino.
Oh gosh.
Any guesses in the chat? Any guesses? 5 points to whoever gets. Everybody gets bonus points if you can actually get it before Riverman.
Cobra?
It is not Cobra. I'm going to sit here while he guesses and struggles. I'm going to drink my Milo tea out of a jug. I wish Milo tea would sponsor our show because I love me some sugar-free Milo tea.
That's unsweetened tea. Yeah.
Well, it's the sugar-free where it's got the fake sugar that's going to give me brain cancer.
Oh, okay.
You know, the aspartame.
Yeah, same with this. Halloween Kills?
Nope. Todd's integrity dies tonight, though. Come on.
This looks very, very familiar.
No guesses in the chat. Are you guys serious? No guesses.
The hook for the hand with the dollar. Friday the 13th, part 6.
Nope.
I'll
give you 3 more guesses. And I do feel like, just like the last one, I'm being kind of kind. Where I think the second one is kind of a give for me. I feel just like I felt like the second one made it easy on the last one. You didn't really need to see the wolf. I think that's the way all these are. Not really trying to go too difficult. Just have fun. But maybe you won't get it. I don't know on the second one. I don't know.
I need a second one.
Okay. All right. I'm disappointing. Nobody in the chat's helping him out. All right. So I need you to close your eyes, Todd. I want to see that hand over it. Okay. Not yet. Don't open. All right, Todd. Name the kino. Name the kino.
Oh gosh.
Nobody in the chat knows this. I'm disappointed in all of you.
What is this?
To me, this kind of gives it away, but maybe you haven't seen it as much as like me, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't double check to see if you've seen this, but there's no way you've never seen it. There's no way you've never seen it. Do you get the feeling like you've seen it?
Yes.
Okay, there's like no way. Total staple movies for,
Gremlins?
No.
Freddy's Dead.
No. Don't say his name in this house. Not for a while. He's still on probation.
Munchies.
No. You're all about these gremlins
Critters.
and munchies. You love these Gremlins knockoff movies, dude. Come on. No, it's not a Gremlins knockoff at all. I'll give you that hint.
I'm gonna need another one.
This is gonna give it away. So you're forfeiting. Okay. Todd, I still want you to close your eyes though, because it ruins the, because when I click next, it's always small on this version, and then I have to like zoom in. So I'll let you know when to look. Oh, hold on, hold on. Okay, Todd, revealed the Kino. You failed.
Oh God. Okay. Yeah, Leprechaun. I see. I knew it was something stupid like that.
Leprechaun 3 when he goes to Vegas. And that was our chick from Texas Chainsaw 2 when he made her ass all big and her face all big and she got blowed up and stuff. And the guy at the beginning was the dude that came to the pawn shop to get rid of the statue that had it first.
Yeah.
And it got pitched off. And he was, you don't know much about him. He's just the last guy that had it. Like he's like getting rid of the monkey's paw. Like, I don't want it. Okay.
It's been a while since I've rewatched those. So yeah, that's a good one, man. You got me on that.
All right. So let me go ahead and pull up part 2, or sorry, the third part. All right, let's see how we do here. All right. This one's the third one you're still going to be is the giveaway, but I have a couple of bonus ones just because they're funny. Okay. All right, Todd, it's time to name that Kino. Let me go ahead and present. If you get this one, you're a winner. 2 out of 3 makes a winner. Share screen. All right. Name that Kino.
Mr. Nanny.
Yeah, that one's easy. You can't miss that set design. That fucking house, dude.
I know.
That pink house.
I know.
I should have did this one first, but the reason why I wanted to do this one last because I just wanted to make fun of all the pictures. Here's how I was gonna. Wait, hold on. This one, look at that. This gives it away too because that's clearly Hulk Hogan's head.
Oh yeah.
But it's like any other picture is too obvious. I'm like, I guess I'll do this one. But like, look at these pictures, dude. This is obviously the gimme.
Oh yeah.
But look at these, dude. Hold on. Look at that, dude. It's so great.
It's Electro Man.
Yeah, Ernest P. Worrell, Electro Man. Look at that, dude.
Oh my God, dude.
I wish I wish they would put this out on 4K so I could have like a high quality res desktop wallpaper, dude, because it would be this.
Looks like somebody's making him curl his toes, dude.
Yeah, it looks like he's attaching his dick to a car battery, dude, and jumping himself and coming, dude. Like, oh, it's fucking hilarious. And I feel like I did these a little bit out of sync, so I feel like we can just roll into the final segment. Can we do Choose Your Destiny and wrap up? Okay, yeah. I love this picture. I really, you know what? If we ever feel like we need to refresh the avatars on our Video Rot page there, if we ever feel like we need to get rid of Freddy because he's a disgrace, we should replace it with the Hulkster, dude. Electrified, dude.
That'd be cool.
It's just so low. It's just so low res. We'd have to find. I'm pretty sure it can get better looking than this somewhere, or maybe like a screen grab from something. But yeah, it's just this movie needs a 4K release. I think pound for pound, like laughs per minute. This is just one of the funniest movies of all time. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it's shitty. It's like a terrible script, but dude, it's like 70 minutes. It's technically not long enough to even be a feature, but I am dying laughing every damn second of this damn movie because it's so bad. But anyway, and it's just nothing but a Home Alone ripoff, you know. But all right, so let me go ahead and we're gonna roll into. I'm very disappointed in all of you, by the way. Nobody helped Todd out. He needed all the help you could get. No, he got 2 out of 3. He's okay. So we are gonna jump into the final segment before we wrap up, and it's gonna be Choose Your Destiny, the segment where I make Todd choose one or the other, this or that, and really elaborate. And it's designed to hopefully be kind of hard. You know, sometimes it's not. Todd usually likes to ask me shit about food and it's easy. But no, hopefully this is tough. This might be easy. I don't know. Okay. Go ahead and cue it up here. All right. Todd, choose your destiny. There can be only one. I ask you, and I ask you all, priest or Sabbath?
Oh God.
Priest or Sabbath?
Mm.
And you got to tell me why. Really feel like you can kind of like play back and forth and really weigh your options and talk about both, talk about the pros and cons, the points for each one before you come to your ultimate decision. Maybe you guys in the chat also have an opinion if you guys like this stuff.
This is a very, very tough one. We're talking about full catalog, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, just everything. Like whatever, however you want to decide it, it's fine. And you know, a lot of people, I think the obvious thing would be to say priest or maiden. That's kind of like the classic thing. But to me, I think you could say priest or Sabbath because priest predates maiden. Priest were around, they launched in 1974. You know, technically just 4 years after Sabbath. So to me, they're like they're the it's Sabbath and priest as far as the people that laid the foundations. It's Sabbath, then priest, and they are the fathers.
I got my answer.
Okay, tell me your answer. And first, tell me your answer. Tell me why you picked that selection, and then tell me why you picked it over the one you didn't pick. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you would have asked me 10 years ago, my answer would be different.
Okay.
I love Black Sabbath. I'm a huge fan of all their albums. But Priest, front to back, or their catalog, I think is phenomenal. I would give it to Priest on this one. I love the Ozzy Black Sabbath. I liked some Dio Black Sabbath, but I'm not a huge Dio guy. But the Ozzy are they're staples. The first 4 albums, I spit them all the time. But the Priest albums, I don't think that Priest doesn't like have like a terrible album. And Rob Halford's voice is just, I think it's the greatest metal voice there is. Um, I don't know. I find myself more attracted to Priest as I'm getting older, and I never grew up a Priest guy, but over the past 10 years, I've just been diving through their catalog, and man, uh, I love Rob Halford, man. He's awesome,
Let
and
me ask
I love
you.
Ozzy too, but
Let me ask you, what is your favorite gun to your head Priest album, and what's your favorite gun to your head Sabbath album, and then compare those two. Because this doesn't necessarily have to be about the band anymore. Now we're just talking about 2 albums. Because technically, you could like one album better. You know what I'm saying? Like overall, your band could still be Priest. But what's your go head to head with with their favorite of each record, and just kind of talk about those.
so
Each one of these bands has very distinct eras. The only when I was thinking about this, I was thinking more just Ozzy. That's just the way I was thinking about it. And Ozzy obviously lived and died in 1 decade with them. Obviously, they did the Dio stuff, but Halford, there is a 70s period, there is an 80s period,
well,
and then there is a 90s. There's different eras for
I
sure.
love the 80s Priest. I do like the 70s Priest too. I mean, I love the 70s Sabbath more. I like the of course I like the 80s Priest more. And then the 90s Priest.
So give me one album from each band, like the best album of each one, and then
Defenders of the Faith is the best album for Priest in my opinion.
okay. And what's your favorite? What's the best Sabbath?
Best Sabbath. That's ugh. I love the self-titled. I don't know if I have a favorite Sabbath album. Because I love Master Reality. I love self-titled. I don't know. Just that intro of the first album of Sabbath. Um I mean it gets you hard. I mean
Okay, so You didn't really give me an answer. Are you saying Defenders of the Faith?
That's my favorite Priest album. Yeah.
Is it better than whatever your favorite Sabbath album is?
Why do you got to do that, dude?
Okay, but that's exactly my problem too. So I technically
I would say Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath self-titled is my favorite Black Sabbath album. And I think it's better. I think it's better than Defenders of the Faith.
So okay.
But
so maybe they won the battle, but lose the war to Judas Priest.
Yes.
So yeah. So Sean's saying Sabbath without question. Before them, Screamin' Jay Hawkins was the only other rock and roll artist to write songs about doom, death, witchcraft, etc. Their sound, their riffs, nothing compares. Screamin' Jay Hawkins, that's I put a spell on you, now you're mine. It's that guy, right? Anyway, yeah. So for me, I get it. It's hard because while Sabbath with Ozzy only existed in the 70s. Every single one of those records is vastly different. I feel to me, they just shifted sound and evolved with every single release. Whereas, maybe some in the 70s, Priest had a sound, and in the 80s, they kind of experimented with a few different sounds, right? They came out swinging with British Steel, which is kind of an extension of Killing Machine, which was the end of the 70s. But then they kind of put out like a radio rock AC/DC album with Point of Entry. It's totally like trying to hit the radio at the time, like classic rock radio. It's like AC/DC, simple riffs, low gain, very sing-alongy. I know a lot of people don't favor that record. I really like that record.
I do too. I think it's great.
It's a lot. But then they had like Screaming for Vengeance, and then they have Defenders of the Faith. But then they went into their fucking cock rock territory where they did Turbo.
Turbo's great too, though, man. I love that.
so now, does Priest maybe have a few more dips overall?
Staying classic, great. Sin After Sin's a great album.
Hold on. So Judas Priest may have a couple of dips, but it's not really fair because they've also been around a lot longer. Right. Yeah. But if you stack up great albums versus great albums, yeah, Priest has a ton, dude. Yeah, Sin After Sin.
I even like Ram It Down. I mean, of course, Painkiller's great.
I'll go through them right now. The first Priest album, it's not really Priest, Rock'n'Rolla. It's kind of it's just not Priest. It's just whatever. That doesn't count for me. It's not really my cup of tea. But then you have like we said, you have albums like Sin After Sin. You have Sad Wings of Destiny. These are flawless. These are awesome. Yeah. You have things like Killing Machine, fantastic. You have British Steel, which is really good. And I get it. Some people might think Point of Entry is a little bit of a dip. I love it though, but I will acknowledge that it's not as good. I just grew up with it. To me, Point of Entry is actually my first Judas Priest album. I was listening to Judas Priest before Sabbath, technically, because I used to listen to my mom's cassette tapes, dude, and she had Point of Entry. She had Point of Entry and Defenders of the Faith. Those are my two Priest records. So I have like a nostalgic lens of looking at Point of Entry. But and then Screaming for Vengeance is obviously really good. But it doesn't have shit on Defenders. Defenders is flawless.
It is, and I always thought the British Steel was overrated, even though I like British Steel.
Yeah, well, but it's good. But it's dude, Defenders of the Faith, even though that one lacks like the hits, it's loaded with staples, like live staples.
God. Yeah.
But it doesn't have like the radio hits. But dude, to me, that is like the best Priest production. It taps it. I love the era in which it came out. I love the Free Will Burning video where they're playing pole position. It's just that like Atari arcade era from like the early 80s. I love it. Like that's my parents' high school years. It's so cool. And it's just peak. It's peak everything. And then Turbo, I'm sorry, Turbo's not good.
I like Turbo. Look,
Turbo. Turbo Lover, I guess over the years, it's a toe tapper. It probably would have been shitty when it first came out, but yeah, it's a toe tapper. Out in the Cold's kind of a toe tapper. It's a total fucking Van Halen I'll Wait ripoff. I guess Parental Guidance is kind of catchy. No parental guidance, but the rest of it's pretty forgettable. I don't think it's very good overall, and then I don't think Ram It Down's good at all. I
enjoy Ram It Down too.
The only decent song on Ram It Down is Blood Red Skies, and that's just like Terminator. They're talking about Terminator. But the cover's cool, but that's the coolest part about the record. Painkiller's amazing. I even like the Ripper album, the first one, Jugulator, even though the lyrics are super cheesy and they were just kind of chasing the groove metal Pantera trend, but there's some bangers on that. Demolition with Ripper is shit. I love Angel of Retribution when Halford came back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Nostradamus. It's got some really good songs, but it's just bloated to fuck. But I liked Redeemer of Souls. I thought that was kind of like their album where they're like, hey, let's just kind of like do a greatest
Redeemer of
hits.
Souls is a lot of fun.
Yeah, because that's the album where they're kind of going through their whole catalog. Like, oh, this song reminds me of Point of Entry. Oh, this could have been on like what's the song? To me, Cold Blooded, that could have been on Defenders of the Faith.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Defenders of the Faith. The hooks sound like Defenders of the Faith. The production sounds like Defenders of the Faith. So it's kind of like their greatest hits album where it's like they were like doing a little bit of everything. And then I loved Firepower. Did you listen to Firepower? Firepower's it's wonderful. So
I need to
they're
get
actually
back to that.
they're actually pretty consistent. But I have to wrap up in the next 3 minutes, so I gotta hurry. I cannot deny the first 6 Sabbath records. Yeah, Technical Ecstasy isn't like amazing. It's okay. I don't mind Technical Ecstasy.
Never Say Die is okay.
Never Say Die is not good. I don't like Never Say Die. Technical Ecstasy is okay. Never Say Die is a lesser version of Technical Ecstasy. But dude, the first Sabbath record through Sabotage, it's just unfuckable. It is the blueprint. And everything that came after it, it just took from those albums. Every riff had already been written before, and because Tony Iommi had done them all. And just they're just the progenitors. It's everything. I don't know. You asked me on a different day, I'm gonna have a different favorite record. Like, I love the first one. I love the jammy aspect of it. I like the blues aspect of it. I like the fact that it was recorded in like 2 days. It's just all like in the studio, just rocking out. To me, Paranoid is their most psychedelic record.
It's a great album, yeah.
It's their most psychedelic record.
Yeah.
It's very psychedelic, and I love that. And then you have like the first Doom record in Master Reality, which just to keep things simple, I usually say that's my favorite, but really you can't go wrong with any. Sabbath Plays Sabbath is incredible.
Yeah.
Volume 4, I
Volume
forgot
4
about
is
that.
great, yeah.
It's amazing. And that's got tracks like, dude, like fucking Supernaut, Wheels of Confusion, so good. And then Sabotage, which to me is their darkest record. It's just their weirdest, darkest record, but it's awesome. And then if you want to include the Dio stuff, dude, the Dio records, especially Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, they're flawless.
They're good, yeah. They're good.
Front to back, amazing. So I have to give the edge to Sabbath just for that, even though Defenders of the Faith is flawless. And don't make me put up Defenders of the Faith against anything, because it's too hard. Like you were struggling with, it's like Defenders of the Faith is so good. Yeah. It is one of the greatest albums of all time. Dude, Rock Hard, Rock Free, that gets me rock hard for sure.
Every track on that album
makes you want to ride free too.
Yeah.
But hey, we got to hop off here. I got to get going. Thank you guys so much for helping us out and tuning in with us. Hopefully you guys are coming back next week, and hopefully you guys subscribe and leave comments. We'll catch you guys next week. It's been fun. Bye-bye.